good time. Some things I'm trying to process. So, I think I have maybe mentioned to you guys before on the channel that I have a younger sister. I may have just threw it out there. And you also know I have a younger brother. You've seen him on the channel. I'm close to my brother. He is 10 years my junior. And my sister is, I believe, 2 years younger than me. She does not get mentioned much because the situation is that she was conceived during the time when my parents were married. And I can only go by stories I was given and things like that. I'll keep it as respectful as I can. In that we just never had a relationship for whatever reasons. It was too sticky. That situation was too hard, too harsh. But not from a lack of me not trying. I have never laid eyes on her. I've seen a picture of her. The crazy part is she's a Libra like me, I believe. I think so. My birthday is September 30th. If I remember looking up her, I looked her up before. Her birthday is October 4th. Crazy. So as I got older and coming into my own, I got wind that she used to live in the same city as me. And I thought that was sick. Like, the sins of the parents shouldn't have had anything to do with us. And I wanted to reach out. So I have reached out. I asked my dad if he had any contact information at all on anybody I can get in touch with her. He had a cousin, he said. He gives me this cousin's number, y'all. I can remember this like yesterday, and this was several years back. I called that cousin and stated who I was, and that I was just trying to reach out, try to establish some kind of relationship with my sister, if you could get me in contact with her. This man cussed me out. The cousin cussed me out, said I ain't got nothing to do with that shit, and that's between y'all, and her mama have to call you on that and all. And I was like, I was in my 20s then, so I'm like, a 20-year-old, I gotta go through your mama to... Anyway, it didn't work. I never was granted any kind of communication, nothing like that, right? Not only did I scour social media, it was hard because I didn't know if she kept our last name. Again, I didn't know the details. My dad don't either. He didn't either. And I did an actual paid for search for her. I found her on LinkedIn, in which I sent a message to her on LinkedIn saying, hey, I think I'm your sister. I would just love to be able to communicate with you, establish something. Could you get back in touch with me? Here's my number. That never worked out. Never was able to find her, even when I was on Facebook. Nothing on Facebook, no Instagram. Again, I don't know. You know, people use all kind of funny handles, so I didn't know if she had a nickname or anything that she used in social media. I couldn't find her. And I was, though, able to find her via the paid for search that I did. So I knew that she had went to college in Indiana, which I live near Indiana, Illinois and Indiana right there. So I knew that much. I knew that it said she was now located in Texas. But really there was not a lot to go off of. And at that point, I had kind of chopped it up to, you can't miss something you just don't have. So let's fast forward to yesterday, right? I'm out at brunch, having a nice brunch, and I get a call from my dad. Very dramatic. Y'all know how, y'all done see my daddy on his channel. Y'all know that Leo dramatic man is a humdinger. I'm more calm, laid back, so I'm like, hey, what's going on? I answer the phone. He's like, I talked to your sister. I said, oh, word? He like, yeah, I talked to your sister, and he said it's crazy, not to mention I'm a grandpa. And I was like, oh, now that's, you know, that's awesome, like that I have a biological nephew. So I said, well, how you talk to her and stuff? He said he was out at a Mason event. My dad's a Mason. He's at some big Mason event they had in Chicago, and a lady came up to him and said, hey, calm down, relax, I just want you to know you have a grandbaby. He's like, who the fuck is it? Who are you? He didn't even know or recognize that this was the lady. This her mother. This was my sister's mother, who he was with. You know, he said she was unrecognizable, whatever. So, he's like, what? He didn't believe her almost till she started showing him pictures. And then that's when he said he wound up getting on the phone with my sister. And she was like, listen, telling him we're in our 30s and I have a lot of, I'm angry and I have a lot of questions. And per my dad says, I know who Tamika is. I know who my sister is. She came up to me and asked me if I was such and such. I'm not going to say her name on here. She came and asked me if I was such and such, and I told her no, I was too embarrassed to answer her. Now, at that point, I started laughing, y'all, because my memory is a mother sucker. And I would have known or remember having a conversation or even being able to have that kind of interaction. I started laughing. I said, Daddy, what's she talking about? And what you talking about? That I seen her and asked her if she was. He said, well, she don't seem like the type that would lie. Now, this already starting to get me hot. I'm getting a little hot now because you don't know what she is. You don't know what kind of anything she is, and that she doesn't seem like the type to lie. I'm not saying she is, but I'm telling you that never took place. It never happened. I never did that. I would have remembered that. I said, where, Dad? Where did I do this? I don't know. I'm just telling you what she told me. Then he says, she told him, yeah, I know she's very smart and educated, and we actually were in classes. We had classes together. Now I'm really like, Dad, somebody here lying, something crazy. I said, Dad, I looked her information up. She went to college in Indiana. I went to college. I went to Loyola University. I went to National Louis University in Chicago. Where are you talking about? I was in classes. What classes? Again, ain't none of this making sense to me. And I said, look, I'm at brunch. You know what I'm saying? I love you. And I had to chop it up with you another time. So we fast forwarded that conversation till last night, where he calls me again. He called me because all I did was text him to see had he talked to any of our relatives in New Orleans, been able to get in contact with anybody to see if they're okay. By the grace of God, they're okay. They're stable. My one cousin is oxygen dependent, so when he heard the storm was coming, he hurried up and got to Texas because he cannot, it's truly life or death. He needs oxygen, so he got to Texas. Everybody else is there, no power, but stable. So we talk about that, and then he just brings it up again like he's just so exasperated. Like, oh, it's just been a long day. I've been up since 6 o'clock with this, and I just can't believe this. And her, and she's saying she know who you are and all this. Y'all, I don't know how to feel, right? Because I've spent a long time trying to reach out, trying to find her. And then to kind of like the way he's explaining things, I feel, I don't know, I don't feel indifferent. I don't know what to feel, y'all. All I know is I told him when it comes to this situation, she's going to have to now reach out to me. Because if she is in fact stating that I allegedly reached out to her, that I've she knows that I have tried to communicate with her. I need her now to find some kind of comfort in coming to me, because I spent a great deal. It's been a painstaking task of trying to find and communicate with her. So if she wants anything at this point, she definitely has to reach out to me. And I'll try not to go into it's stuff like this. It just, I almost feel so emotional, because you feel raw when all these feelings start coming back again. I think about the pain that my mother went through, for one. I think about how now that the chickens have come home to roost, and my dad has to, you have to always live with all of the things that you've done. Everybody has to be held accountable for everything. But all of this is so emotional for me. It is a lot to process, and I am processing the best way I know how. But I say all of this, and I share all of this to tell you guys to love on each other. Be honest with everything and all you do. Family is so important. It's so important. And you don't want to mess up and be mixed off in a situation like this because of things that were left veiled, and because things were always pushed under the rug, and people's infidelities and secrets and all of that. Like, be honest and truthful with people. Love each other. Count your blessings and joy for who you have in your life. And do the best you can in this thing called life. Right now, the world a crazy place. And so, I just was sharing that. That's my story time, and that's one of the many things I'm dealing with right now. So, I love y'all. Do good to others. Definitely do good to yourself. Mwah. I'll update y'all as I know more, okay?